Bye-bye binary. No, bye-bye you. Okay? And bye-bye trans community. See you later. You're all on the way out. Everyone's so over you, including me. Like, you people are so ridiculous.
And we know even from fetal development perspective that sex is defined in the first trimester of pregnancy, whereas the beginnings of the sense of gender identity start in the second trimester of pregnancy. So certainly often these two things match up, but often they don't.
Welcome back to Clown World. Actually, it's worse than Clown World. Welcome back to indoctrination. We will indoctrinate you to think your child, who's not even born yet and in the womb, is trans. Because, you know, they know what they are. They know what they are, even though they are nothing on some level. Like, really, are you? It says on that, it says, now Democrats are saying kids can become trans and know their gender identity while in the womb. What are you talking about? The sense of gender identity starts in the second trimester of pregnancy. Come on. Are we really doing this? Are you trans community? How are these doctors and academics and people so deep into this indoctrination? They are not going to let go. They are just not going to let go of this nonsense and insanity. And you all wonder why nobody likes us anymore. Nobody wants, like, they just can't even stand hearing from us anymore. And I know I put myself in that same category, but I'm not. I'm not trans. I'm not part of the trans agenda. I'm not trans identified. None of that insanity. Okay, I just am. Bleh. So today, let's laugh at the insanity of it all. But at the same time, we've got to push back on this. And by doing these videos, I think it does help for people to see that we're not all involved in this in the LGBT community. We are not. There are many of us who stand against this nonsense. So if you're new in my channel, I want you to know that's really what I stand for. None of this nonsense. Children aren't trans. An actual baby in a womb has no idea what's going on, okay? So I don't think me and you really, the gaslighting is huge. Thanks for liking, subscribing, all the stuff you're doing to create my channel here, so I can't do it without you. The next one.
Does your toddler have this in their preschool? It's called Bye-bye Binary. Baby. And I'm ready to smash gender norms. They're only social constructs anyway. Just what every toddler needs to know.
Come on.
Boy or girl? What's it to ya? Besides, I'm still trying out new things to figure out who I am. I don't know if you can see this, but this baby's got a really angry look on his face.
Yeah.
Hey, man, don't you be assuming my gender. Blue or pink? Why pick just one? I think I like lots of colors. It's a baby getting its nails painted. Like a drag queen. Bow ties or bows? How about both? How about you join the circus? Dolls or dinos? Dolls and dinos. Aw, that's fun. Kind of agree with that one. I like dolls and dinosaurs. This blankie or this blankie? All of them, they're equally snuggly. One has sports equipment and rocket ships on it, and the other one has uniform.
Okay, I'm just stopping because no, just no, I can't stand it. I really just can't stand it. And neither can you, because this is like actual this is actually the definition of gaslighting. First off, can you imagine that this is in preschool and they're reading this to little kids? Now, that being said, I think it's totally okay for a kid to wear whatever kind of clothes or whatever things they want to do. But we're talking about preschool here, okay? Bye-bye binary? No. Bye-bye you, okay? And bye-bye trans community. See you later. You're all on the way out. Everyone's so over you, including me. Like, you people are so ridiculous. If you don't think we see what you're doing, you know, for many years, people, including myself, were forced into this idea that, you know, you can choose your gender and babies know who they are. Well, the baby thing just started, which is even scarier. That's how you know it's so going off the deep end now that they're totally snatching up babies and on. And you just, The thing is, I think people and ideologies like this will keep pushing. They'll keep pushing and pushing until eventually they can't push anymore because we are waking up. Okay, we are actually waking up to this insanity, and how dare you? How dare you indoctrinate children? And you're indoctrinating parents by telling them, pregnant parents, that their child has their own sense of their gender in the womb. I'm going to keep going back to that one because that one is actually the most absurd.
I just want to say I'm a transgender male. What age should kids be able to get things like hormone therapy? Because I don't know what's true, what's not.
Tell me, are you comfortable telling me your story?
I've known that since like third grade, and I'm currently 19, almost 20. I've known basically since then. I didn't start going by like a different name until 7th and 8th grade. I just don't know, like, with the whole medical stuff, like what's true, what's not, what's helpful, because I've heard so many different opinions.
First of all, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm going to have an opinion that very few people will ever tell you, which is I want you to be very cautious putting drugs into your system in the pursuit of changing your body. I instead encourage you to work on what's going on in your brain first. I think what you need first and foremost is just a diagnosis. Just someone that is going to listen to what you've gone through, listen to what else is going on. My prayer for you, and again, very few people will say this, I actually want to see you be comfortable in how you were born.
Yeah.
I know that you might not feel that way, but I think that is something that you can achieve. I think that with the right team and the right people, you don't have to wage war on your body. You can learn to love your body.
You know, what Charlie Kirk just said was so beautiful and so loving and so not anti-trans in any way, shape, or form. You know, I was on his show and we don't agree on everything. It's totally fine. You know me, I'm all about that. But we shook hands and today we're friends. And I'll have to tell you, what just came out of his mouth was so beautiful and so loving and so caring, okay? Because I say the same thing. Okay, again, I made this choice as an adult, many years of living my life until 30 years of age. Okay, so at that point, I just am a better person now at 32 years into this transition. And why it's rare, and you don't tell people they're trans. They're not trans, okay? This kid said they knew they were trans at third grade. I've had all these kids pushing against me. I knew when I was 2 years old, Buck. I knew when I was at third grade. How? How did you know you were trans? Because that language didn't exist. It's only been new that you've been told you're trans, okay? And that's where Charlie is saying such beautiful, amazing things to this young person who knew they were trans in third grade, that's a red flag right there. That is 100% a red flag. Nobody knows they're trans. They might be struggling with stuff, and you got to go to a therapist and you got to figure it out until you can't figure it out anymore. And that's why people like him who get called transphobic, because they don't want you to grow out of it. They don't want you to do it. They want you to be a part of the trans space because it validates them. I don't want you to be trans, okay? I want you to do what you need to do in order to live a better life. But to want you to be trans is so that in itself feels like indoctrination, okay? I want you to be this. Why do I want you so bad? If you decide you want to be a Christian or Jewish or whatever else you're going to be, Buddhist or any of that, then that's your choice. It has nothing to do with me. That's what I'm saying. These people are leading you on to think that trans is this thing that you want to be. And they're not showing good examples, by the way. They're showing craziness. So look at this.
I'm gonna hold your balls when I say this. You don't need to go to a doctor to get testosterone or estrogen.
What?
Or any hormones.
Disgusting. If you don't think that in itself is indoctrination, I'm going to show you today all this indoctrination here. It's actually so mind-blowing. Yes, you do. You're going to let that little freak tell you that you don't have to go to get a doctor's appointment to figure out what it all is about. You're just going to go on the internet and that's what you all are doing. You're all going to regret it. You know, you're all going to regret it. So horrible that I have to say I told you so. But listening, these are the kids that are doing that. You don't have to go to a doctor to get hormones. Wow. Just wow. Just gross. I mean, it's literally pushing drugs.
So I freaking hate to be the girl that cries on the internet. I'm not... I'm emotional, because I've been misgendered a lot today. And it's hard. And I'm not mad at people. I know what I look like. Like... But it still hurts, you know? It still hurts.
I don't know why I don't feel sympathy. I don't know why. I wish I did. I'm a very compassionate person. But, you know, duh, you got misgendered. You better, like, seriously grow a pair, friend, and don't cut them off, because you know what? You need them, because you're going to continue to get misgendered for the rest of your life, just so you know. And wearing all that pride wear kind of gives stuff away, just so you know. So maybe just don't wear all that stuff and try to walk the world and deal with it. This is what I want all you young people to see. Deal with it. You might not pass. It might never happen for you. And this is how you're going to end up. This is literally how you're going to end up, crying in the car somewhere on TikTok because you got misgendered, and it hurts. What is it that hurts? I'd like to know what hurts, because let me tell you, I've been misgendered my whole life pretty much. And, okay, I remember when I was 12 or 13, I wanted to be a boy, and I got called a girl, and I don't remember exactly like my actual deep down feelings. I just remember feeling, gosh, I wish I was a boy. I liked when people called me like he or the boy name or all that, but my God, it started happening at that age. You eventually grow thick skin, and you eventually just like, okay, it's just kind of how it is. We need to teach kids to live in reality, and then we have adults like this on TikTok. I'm sorry, but dude, you put yourself in that position, and like now with the internet, it's making it worse for all of you. Get off TikTok.
This is your daily reminder that trans women not being allowed to compete in women's sports is actually just the patriarchy's subtle way of reminding women that they are the weaker sex and keeping them complacent in doing so. They just don't want women to see that it is possible for them to have a physiological advantage. So they use trans women as a political scapegoat, given that they're a minority group who's already vulnerable and doesn't have the support of the general population. Because they can't. Because they are masters at gaslighting women into thinking that they know what's best for them. And they convince them that trans women have some sort of biological advantage to inadvertently remind them that they are biologically disadvantaged.
Do you know that? Did you hear all that rubbish coming out of that person's mouth? The twist gaslighting. That is got to be one of the most perfect examples of gaslighting. Changing the word patriarchy around, acting as if women don't know what's best for them, but trans women do, who are men, okay? And then totally not even literally twisting the actual definition of patriarchy, and that we're all gaslighting. I think you're the one gaslighting, friend. It's so absurd. It's just so absurd and comical at this point. Keep digging, because you're actually just digging it, and you're gonna dig to China and see you later. You guys are so gone. You're so over. It's so ridiculous at this point. You wait, I have this great video coming up that's just showing you how everyone's over it. No one's playing your game anymore. Patriarchy. Women are not the patriarchy. Like, seriously, and women do know what's best for them. And biology does matter. You see from the beginning of this video how they were trying to say kids in the womb know who they are. But there's not two sorry, you guys. It just go off. I just go off.
This is to all my trans women out there. That you know that we deserve love. That we deserve such a pure love, because we love so hard. And if you feel in your soul that man is not working, listen to it. Listen to it. Protect yourself. These men aren't fucking shit. They're not fucking shit.
Okay, so this one clearly, this one clearly is mad because the man didn't want to date her anymore. And then okay, maybe they weren't honest. That's what I keep wanting to tell you all. These people are not being honest when they date a dude, okay? And then the dude finds out. That is so wrong. That is the R word right there, okay? That is it. You cannot not. And why are you crying on TikTok? Why are you crying on TikTok about this personal kind of stuff? You think people feel sorry for you? Nobody feels sorry for you anymore, okay? Until you start being honest with who and what you are, until when you meet a dude or a chick or somebody, and there's no such thing as trans lesbians. Like, stop it already. You guys dug yourself into this space, and now you want everyone to have sympathy for you. It's not easy being trans. It is difficult. And when you're acting like all this is just like so natural and all of that, then you're just making it so that people don't care about you anymore. And people don't care about this stuff. And when you lie to men and say that you're actually a woman when you're not a woman, and then you get busted and the man is over you, okay? So maybe think about it a little bit before you don't tell or disclose your trans status before you move forward in a actual relationship. So no one feels sorry for you. This last one is really important.
It's been a month since the UK Supreme Court decided what a woman is. Now the trans community isn't too happy about that. Do you want to say a few words about the counter-protesters? What are your thoughts on that?
I wouldn't mind going to bed with some of them, to be honest.
Go to bed? Lovely. Into women or into men, is that?
I don't know. I just want to get laid.
What's your thoughts on these signs as women-only sports, defend women's rights?
Touch some grass, you might like some trannies. Everyone at work loves me.
It's not all about, like...
Women's rights are you here about?
Biological women.
What?
We know what they are. Do you? Biological women?
Biological women is... So...
It's women, yeah?
So that's XX chromosomes, right?
Yeah, women.
There are men with XX chromosomes.
No.
Yeah, there are.
The moves are out. Oh dear, oh dear. What is going on here? Oh no, bloody hell.
Free Palestine! What do we want? Trans rights!
Free Palestine, trans rights. You've heard it all, guys.
If they were women, they wouldn't be protesting this. They are all men who are doing it. Sarah Jane Baker, who was leading this protest, was in prison for 30 years because he tortured a child.
Wow.
And he's demanding access to women's spaces. Like, Jesus Christ, how can these people follow him?
So you got your top off over there. What was the reason for it?
Well, I'm a woman, and I thought I'd show the Prime Minister my boobs. Keir Starmer's got lots of secrets. Keir Starmer's got more secrets than me. Keir Starmer loves trans people. I don't know why he's grifting for the right wing. I don't understand.
And what do you say to the trans people who say that trans people aren't dangerous? I mean, it could be a small minority, but they're not all dangerous.
No, they're not, but not all men are dangerous either, but we exclude all men from our female spaces because enough men, and we don't know how to tell which men are dangerous or not, and there's no evidence to suggest that men who identify as women are any less likely to commit sexual offences.
Right.
If anything, the stats that we do have suggest that they're inclined to commit them more.
Non-binary myself.
So that means you're neither male or female?
Yes.
How do you come to that conclusion?
Well, I'm autistic and I'm never fit in with anyone, so I just think I'm just that. That's how it is.
I feel for them in that gender dysphoria must be an awful thing, but I think that they're being failed by, groups like this. They're being failed by an ideology that's lying to them. They've been failed over and over again, basically medicinally, and I think it's a real shame. If you're suffering with gender dysphoria and your mental disconnect with your body is so strong and you feel so uncomfortable on a day-to-day basis, you need to get help. You don't need that to be affirmed via some semblance of transition. That will only ever be an attempt because it's impossible to change sex, and we know that.
Well, the reason why I liked that one, I wanted to end with it because they're just saying everything that we all want to say, and it's ridiculous, and those people are totally insane. And that one, Sarah, whatever it is, that trans rights activist was literally in jail for doing scary, scary stuff, and now I'm a woman. No, you're not. You're not a woman. You'll never be a woman. Deal with it. No transsexual ever thinks that. You people are an ideological gaslight. The gaslighting is so out of control. I mean, that has to be the word of the century. Gaslighting. It's scary. It's actually scary that people can do this and get people to believe it, right? It really is. That's what happens in and cults. You just are very much indoctrinated into a thought process, and you think only that. And you're not willing to look at all sides. You're not willing to think. That's why I get nailed by these people, because they don't want me to say what I'm saying right here, okay? And I'm not stopping. I am not stopping. The fact that you're going after actual, like, babies in the womb is so absurd and scary and weird and everything, just everything I will not tolerate. It's sick. And so with that, thanks. Thanks for joining me today. And wow, there's just so much going on right now, and it's really being torn apart, okay? And you know, both extremes are going nuts right now. And I want to bring it back to the middle, because I don't want you to think people like me don't exist, because we do. It's an adult-only space. I know that I'm a female. I want to live this way. I walk this way. People, most of the world accepts me this way. I don't cause problems, okay? I'm not part of that stuff. It is totally absurd. So with that, thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for helping me reach out there to the world to kind of bring back some sanity around all this insane conversation. So have a great rest of your day. I'll see you Wednesday on the live at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a great rest of your day.